Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show. Time to look at Millewa football with Lewis Roberts, who's on the line. Lovely to have you with us, Lewis, the travelling man, if I can put it in the most simplest terms. You're getting around these days, Lewis.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I was over your way this week, and we had plans on being in the studio today to do all the correspondence, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out. I've been sent back to Mildura, sunny Mildura today. So, travelling around the countryside is great. It's lovely around your area.
Fantastic. We like to hear it. Well, it's great to be back with you talking all things Millewa football. Let's get into the action from last weekend where Goal were narrowly the superior side against Meringur, winning by 11 points in the end. Just under two straight kicks, Lewis. Good enough for Goal.
Yeah, I reckon it would have been the one that Bamble let slip away. Sorry, not Bamble, Meringur. They were 13 points up at three-quarter time and probably would have thought they were in within the show. But Goal's just come home with a wet sail because it was wet weather football, that's for sure. And they've kicked 4 in the last term to storm home with a 11-point win. So no doubt that Meringur will be a little bit upset about that, but happy about their performance, but obviously just couldn't put the 4 quarters together.
Cardross with their collective tails between their legs after the game against Bamble last weekend. What happened there, Lewis?
Yeah, same sort of thing with Meringur. I think they got the fourth quarter jitters, and Cardross just didn't score. They were 3-7 at three-quarter time, and that's how they ended up the game too. And Bamble come storming home, kicking 5 goals in wet weather, which is absolutely awesome. Obviously, the 3 Hura brothers and Junior Cooper have just turned it on in that last quarter and really brought it home for the home crowd. So good on them.
Now, last week I used a certain label to describe the effort that your side went to in order to really play their hearts out in what was a difficult game, and some eyebrows were raised apparently when I used that term, so I won't use it again. But it appears that Meringur, you're getting better and better, Lewis. Another pretty decent display. At least kicking the 3 goals and making it all fairly respectable. Away to Nanji, which is not an easy game.
Absolutely, yeah. As we know, Nanjilock are in the top 4 and in solid hunt for finals in September. So, look, yeah, we definitely had some good passages of play in the wet, and Nanjilock being that little bit taller timber, they sort of found it a little bit harder and really relied on their little guys. So it evened up the playing field, but Kurt Freer still kicked 2 or 3 goals in the first quarter, and in wet with the football, that's pretty handy. So, but old stalwart Scotty Golding actually played his 200th game last week, so it was great to be amongst the celebrations for him there. And he's an absolute trooper, and he's been fantastic for the Nanjilock Footy Club over the last 10, 12 years. I think he's been playing there now. So fantastic effort for him, and the boys got over the line for him. So yeah, I reckon the celebrations would have been going throughout the night for sure.
So from here on out, Bamble the best side, no doubt. Is that the case, Lewis?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, like I said last week, those the 2 Hero boys, Jason and Nathan, there's a massive inclusion, and they've got just their big fellas are hitting the straps at the right end of the season. Luke Stanbrook's probably the fittest he's been in 4 or 5 years, I reckon. He's just running up and down the ground from centre half forward to centre half back all day, every day. So they are going to be one of the teams to beat for sure.
Now, we'll get on to the women's football in a second, Lewis, but before we do, no fixtures, of course, this weekend. Everyone gets a bit of a rest, so we've got this inter-league game instead, Millewa versus the Mallee Tigers. Can you tell us what the details are for this game and how formidable the opposition might be?
So it's all the Millewa top players in the boys and the women's netball as well. So they're all playing at the Mildura Sporting Precinct tonight. So it's going to be a good match. So get all the top performers a go, and playing against what they call the Mallee Tigers, which is all the Indigenous people from around the surrounding communities. So last year we had Paddy Ryder come down and play with them as well. So it's an absolutely awesome spectacle to have a watch. Some great football on show. So yeah, it's going to be a fantastic night.
Let's hope it is, and let's hope it doesn't get too cold either. Now, let's go to the senior women as far as football goes from last weekend. We'll talk about those 3 games, or 2 games rather. Warrnambool and Golgol. Well, Warrnambool, 67 points the difference here. And the Golgol girls, they need to go back to the drawing board after that one, Lewis.
Yeah, absolutely. The Warrnambool girls have just come storming out of the block, kicking 10 goals, 14, which is an awesome effort. Matt Carter, the coach of the Warrnambool girls, he's obviously just got it dialed in, and they've, like I've said in previous weeks, these girls have played a lot of football together, so they just know how to play. And obviously the wet weather doesn't really faze them at all, because to be able to get that many scoring shots and keep goal just to 1 goal, their run through the middle must have been absolutely on point on Saturday.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The other game was far closer, Bamble and Cardross, 26-33, so just 7 points in this one. Cardross too good though, and they have been for much of the season, Lewis.
Yeah, similar thing to Warrnambool. The girls just know how to play together, and they do really well. So no real surprises there. Bamble have had their chances throughout their year so far, and no doubt they'll work on their little bits and pieces. They're only just out of the hunt, I think, but Cardross, they're just a little bit bigger bodied and just a little bit more skillful through the middle. So they did really well, I reckon.
Well, Meringur girls had the bye last weekend, and obviously you now having to sit out with no football to play after you're just hitting your straps, Lewis, as a side. Is that a little bit frustrating?
It is, actually. It is, yeah. All our game plans are slowly coming together, and our goals of hitting the scoreboard and getting a little bit of scoreboard pressure have been coming good in the last couple of weeks. So it's a little bit of a shame, but at the same time, I know a few boys and girls that have got a couple of niggly injuries in a week or two, and they'll be back at their full strength. So it's a bit of a blessing in disguise, but we'll just keep working on training and trying to keep our game plan right. And moving forward, who knows, we might be able to take it to the bigger teams like Cardross and Bamble and Golgol. So it'd be exciting.
That it will. Lewis Roberts, thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the weekend off as far as regular action goes, and we'll speak to you next week.
Absolutely, Al. Thank you very much for having me.